How about that? Welcome, one and all. Hopefully, you can now hear me. I was just saying to myself, I bet you can't hear me, so I'll press this button and hopefully that'll change. It's Friday night, if you're in the UK. It's wet, it's windy, it's cold, it's miserable. Apparently, we're in a heat wave. Who knew? But it's Fishy Business, number 118, I think we're up to now. Who have we got in? Let's do a bit of a roll call to get started. We've got Ross in from a damp and dismal Edinburgh. Hope you're doing better, Mr. Kerr. Getting there. Definitely getting there. I will bore you all senseless with my health updates later. Dr. Awesome's in the house, maybe. Or he was at one point. I'm trying to catch it live. Caleb's here. Caleb's everywhere. Not going to make the start, but we'll slip in at some point. Oh, that's a shame. I've got all new beers to try, and I even have an emergency orange. Can I help you? Sorry, I have a child sign languaging me. All right, okay. Got my emergency orange as suggested by people for when I try new beers, because sometimes that can help when they are minging and disgusting. So you think you could just get nice beer, but no. I shall take this through them and say, I can't multitask. I'm recovering, but not recovered. 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll do. But he says, Fish Fit says, Happy Friday anyway. Not the first person here for freshwater ichthyology, no, definitely not. Rainy in Bristol, spent my week staring at a poster in Laura Card morphology even, to present at the conference, to see where I can improve on it. Well, if you want to come on and try it with an audience, we'll have you on as a guest happily. Hans says hi from Sweden. Dangerous Dan's in. Brian's in. Wet and windy. Everywhere's wet and windy. It's a wet and windy everywhere. JT Keeping Fish says hello. Hello yourself. As does Johnny, says hi all. The whole of the UK is like that. It's been proper downpouring here. I know that's our favourite thing to talk about, the weather. As Brian says, the rest of Europe gets a heat wave. I'd rather have this than a heat wave. I'm not a big fan of man of my stature. Doesn't like it. Rebecca says, as a proud English person, I'll complain whichever weather it is right now. It's too rainy, cold and windy. Quite right. My chat has also not worked. Router off. Okay, I don't know if we're going or not, but everything has just gone a bit weird on this end. So, good now, right, okay. I mean, would it be any other thing if it was not something cocking up somewhere? I've got green lights now, so hopefully we're back again. The orange is alive, says Nabokov fan. Well, I've got it in reserve, so let's get started. What I was going to say is we've got a quiz at about 10 o'clock, so in about 55 minutes time or so. Sorry, my eyes are all over the place looking for what's going on with the network here. But everything's green so far, so hopefully we're okay. But until we get there, I'll introduce you to my pain relief for the evening. So beer, number 1, not necessarily in this order, but Northern Monk, one of my favourite breweries. Fruit crumble with custard. Interesting. These are all new beers to me this week. We've got this one, the Full Circle Brewer Company Endless Return Hazy Pale Ale. You see, I've been clever this week. I've included beers that aren't high alcohol. Okay, getting a bit higher now. We've got this one from Tiny Rebel, Cloudy Lemonade IPA. Another one that deserves a raised eyebrow. And then to round off the night, picked purely for the humorous name by the Horns Brewing Company, Jiddler's Tipple, a quencher cold IPA, which is only 5.5. So, no 8%ers this week, which, when mixed with my medication, should mean that I will survive the stream. I'll just read you the bump on this one, the Jiddler's Tipple. Do you like crisp, refreshing beer with plenty of hop aroma and flavour? Well then, this is the collab between the Horns and Jiddler's Tipple is the beer for you, with enough hops to knock out a moose. I'm not sure I like hops. Well, I suppose it's subjective. A cold IPA delivers IPA hop intensity while keeping the malt character restrained and ultra crisp. This is purely helped by fermenting with a lager yeast and conditioning until super clear, so it's not going to be hazy. So, I don't know, what should we start with? I feel like that's a dessert beer, if nothing else, because it's got custard in it. Well, I'm sure it's not got custard in it, but it talks about being custardy. Made without lashings of creamy custard. We've got that one, the hazy IPA. We've got the lemonade. And this one, Jiddler's Tipple. So let me know, what shall we start with? This is an aquatic stream. Aquatic / beer on a Friday night, that's what we do. Buffering. Hopefully that was old buffering and not new buffering. I'm struggling with the comments again because I might have to change my comment system because it's not going very well. Remember, the rules for the evening: if you have a question for me, type the word question, then I have more of a chance of finding the question and seeing it and reading it out. I have nothing prepared because, quite frankly, I've not been feeling great this week, so I haven't put any effort into this at all. I've just turned up to go. So I'm relying on you guys to ask me questions. Ask me questions. Keep the conversation going. Give me topics to talk about. What have you been up to this week? Let me know in the chat what you've been doing. Have you bought any new fish? I have. Can anyone guess what I've bought? Which beer do you want me to start with? Any questions you've got? And for the meantime, I'll bore you with my mystery illness update. So I had a bit of time off. Where I was away, I didn't know what was going on. Last week, I'd had various things and put on various medications. LLL, moan, woe is me, all that jazz. I was starting to feel a bit better over the weekend, last weekend. So everything was good, but I had been booked on a physio appointment by the GP the last time I saw them, and that happened to be on Monday. So I walked in the door to the physio appointment to, how are you feeling? Yeah, pretty good actually, yes. It's almost back to, everything's fine, it seems no problem at all. The man was a psychopath and just attacked me. And what he called a diagnostic appointment to find out what the problem was. So I had me ragged around all over the room, bent in positions I've not been in for tens of years, stabbing me with pokey devices and fingers and elbows, and like wrestling moves on me, to the point I couldn't walk when I got out. I got home and I cried like a little baby. I was in so much pain. But the long and the short of it was the psychopath diagnosed what the problem was, and it was, I've already forgotten. What was it? It was thoracic. My thoracic joint had a problem, and all the muscles around it had been spasming and had knocked the joint out, trapped a nerve. That's what was giving me the intermittent pain that was coming from all different directions. And basically, it's just not healing itself because every time I moved, breathed, ate, existed, it aggravated this nerve and muscles. So I basically had to, the way that he pushed me was, and it was literally, well, if this makes you scream in like a 10 of pain, it's this problem. If it's at 8, then it's that problem. So it's like, right, it's probably this. So I'll confirm it by doing this. Oh yeah, that's the right scream that you made there. So basically got beat the hell up in this physio's office, which sent me back. That was more pain than I'd ever had before. So I was in bits. I was not a happy chappy. Come Monday evening, couldn't walk, couldn't move, couldn't do anything. Was on stronger painkillers than ever before. But I bought myself one of those massage guns. I've had the kids doing my rehabilitation therapy and exercises and everything, and it's now only mildly painful. I can feel it right now, but I haven't had any painkillers since this morning because I want to have a beer. So I don't want to do anything like too bad. But yeah, it's mildly painful. I think we can live with that. So that's my health update. Hopefully that hasn't bored everyone too much. I'm going to check back on the comments and see whether or not we are going to have any suggestions for what beer I can have, because I'm pretty thirsty. Beer is the painkiller. Yes, beer is the painkiller. I can't see anything, but then again, my chat is not really working properly. Right, I'm just going to do this. Right, okay, we're going to start with the fruit crumble. Here we are. I see we've got some questions, so I'll get to them shortly. Oh, it smells fruity. Oh, it's red. Or pink. This reminds me of... What was that other one that I liked? The Juice Forsyth one. The foam's not got much of a taste. And before you ridicule me for the size of the head on a pint, I was told to do it like that. By beer experts. This means I don't fart as much tomorrow. So, that's an interesting colour. I always say I like a beer that I can't see through. I definitely can't see through that. Smells very fruity. Does not taste of beer in any way, shape or form. What does it say? Very little. Usually they've got some kind of bump, like ponciness. No. It's not beer. It's not bad, just not beer. So what you get, that's what you get. I did see some questions, so I'll scroll down and see if I can get them. If I've missed anything, by all means, enter them again. Question, how's Gordon and friends? Gordon and friends are doing good. Better start some wood quickly. Everyone's fine. I have had... So I mentioned this in last week's stream. I've had a couple of weeks of being a pretty rubbish fish keeper. I've not done as much as I would normally do. Feeding, I've done some water changes where I don't have to expend any effort to do water changes. But I've just been miserable. For want of a better term, I've just been bloody miserable for a couple of weeks when I've not been feeling the greatest. So it's been in a minimum level of effort to maintain and keep everything okay. So everything's fine. Happy enough with them, but yeah, I've just not been doing much. I've got one new fish, but I haven't done too much. Tommy's raised his voice. What's going on here? Little Mountain Life's got a question. How many black neon tetras should I put in my new 125 display tank with 10 discus? Now, Little Mountain Life, it depends what you mean by your new 125. If you mean 125 gallons, litres, 125 litres I suppose is pushing it for 10 discus, so I'd probably say none. If you mean litres. If you're gallons, that's probably quite a big tank. I think the mistake I see most people making with things like ditherfish, so if we're calling this tank a discus tank, you've got 10 discus in there, it's very much a discus tank. The problem I see with ditherfish, which is the smaller fish that you put into your tank to give a little bit more movement, maybe to bring out the behaviours of your discus or your other fish, so those things feel a bit safer. The ditherfish theory is that the big fish sees the little fish out and about and feels safe. If nothing's eating the little fish, nothing's going to eat me. They can have the impact with like 6. They can do the... rather, they can't have the impact. You can have the dither feature with, let's say, 6. So usually these things are recommended as, it's a schooling fish, get at least 6. And that will get your discus to come out more and things like that. But just in a big tank, and I'm assuming that is a big tank, 6 tetras, it's just, they get lost in there. You're never going to see them. They're not going to really do any natural type of behaviour. So this is probably terrible advice, but I'd be looking to get 60 rather than 6. I want a big group of them. You can see them moving as a wave. You can see them doing some shoaling behaviour, schooling behaviour. You can see them doing some natural behaviour. And you can see them. They're doing a thing rather than, there's tetras in there. Oh, yeah. So, it's not quite the same, but in my discus display tank, I have Alestes tetras and Congo tetras, which are quite big tetras, but even then I've still got like 20 odd of them. So they take up quite a bit of they take up some of the role of being an eye-catching fish. So they're in your tank. They're not just that I've happened to notice that as well. It's a main thing. They're there. They hold their own in their own right of being something to look at. And if you get small fish, I just think you need to get more. So the two schools of thought are, what will that type of fish be happy with as a minimum? So when people say, you need to get 6 of them or they won't be happy. But what will you be happy with as a minimum? Are you going to be happy with 6 of them and seeing them every now and again because they'll just get lost in a tank that size? Or do you want to see some kind of visual impact? I'm thinking you want to get like 20, 30, something like that. Again, depending on the size of your tank. If it's 125 gallons, what's that, like 4.5 feet, something like that? Depending on... I always get lost with the US sizes. But you can probably support a good number of them. What camera do you use for streaming? So this is a Canon M50. There you go. If you want more than that, the reason I've gone with the Canon is, happenstance. I dropped it. No, I didn't. My daughter dropped it. It broke, so I bought another one. I managed to fix this one. So I bought the Mark II, which is, you can't see it's on the shelf behind me. That's what I used to film my videos. This is the Mark I that I'm using now to stream with. So she dropped it. I bought another one, the Mark II, and I got this one fixed, or I tried to fix it myself and eventually got it. So I use this as my backup camera as my streaming one. And the reason I've stuck with Canon rather than anything else is Canon has webcam software, so you can turn your Canon camera with USB into a webcam, connect it directly without having to go through any additional hardware, which adds latency and complexity and all those good things. I'm not sure whether any of the other cameras offer that yet. Most things you need to get like an Elgato Cam Link or something like that to plug in your proper camera, whereas the Canon range can just do that with this software. So that's why. Scott says, he has the custard and crumble one too. Oh, what are your thoughts? Pleasant enough, just doesn't taste like beer. Bit watery. It's literally like juice. I bet you my kids would like this one. Right, sorry, I'm just going to try and catch up again. My comments are being dicks. Not you, not the commenters. The comment system is just keeps hanging. Dangerous Dan. I finally found some of those elusive Alestes tetras after about 18 months of searching. They show with my others, and the whole tank now joins in with them. Yep, love them. Get quite big. They get bigger than I had imagined. Do you ever do that? This is something I do all the time. When I'll read things, I'll research things, and I go, oh yeah, grow to 10 centimetres, and I put that. Oh yeah, that's quite small. And then I go, oh yeah, it's not as small as I thought it was, or whatever the size is. I always underestimate in my mind how big that actually is. So the Alestes are getting bigger than the Congos. I'm getting really happy with my discus tank at the moment. With the tetras in my discus tank, they are really coming into their own. The Congo tetras, the finnage and just general beauty, very happy with it. Alestes tetras, less showy as a tetra, but very active. Go well with the Congos. They keep together quite happily. Yeah, pretty good. I keep seeing them. I had never seen Alestes tetras until I got mine. I got them from Fisherman Aquatics when I was doing my Congo tank. And I'd never seen them anywhere, and every time I go to a fish shop now I see them. So Maidenhead Aquatics, I've got them in every single time. What was that other one I was at? Yeah, every fish shop I've been to recently I've had them. Did he bend you up like a deck chair? So the physio, yes, he did. We almost came to blows. I kicked him several times. I literally thought he was attacking me, and I'd done something to him in a previous life. I think I gave him several looks where I was like, I'm going to defend myself in a minute. He's like, no, honestly, I have to do this just to make sure. Right, so where do we get to? As long as you feel better. I don't yet, but I can see light on the horizon, or light at the end of the tunnel, or whatever it is. Hip flexor stretchers. Yeah, I'm well impressed with this. I don't know what I've done with my phone though. I had that a minute ago. Well, basically, there's an app. So the physio sent me a link to an app where he had put in a program of exercises for me to do. So I've got various things that I have to do twice a day. I sit on the edge of a chair and do various movements and this, that, and the other. And I was very much like, this is a nonsense, but it is helping. It's working. And I got one of those massage guns on the Amazon Prime deal. I can't quite reach it myself, but if I get the kids to do it and they dig in with that thing, it's agony. But after about a minute, it's ecstasy. It's brilliant. I've never felt better. It's life-changing. I've gone from like being crippled up on the chair and crumpled up and like, oh, I can't move, to 5 minutes of this and like, oh yeah, I can get up and about and do stuff. So, not fixed yet. Still quite painful when I'm not on the drugs or if I move in the wrong direction, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So, and yes, I don't think hip flexors are one of them, but I have various stretches to do. So, I'm looking forward to it. Right, where do we get to? Bacchus is similar. I remember Bacchus. No, Bacchus at least tasted a little bit like beer. This is very watery, is what I would say. But, I mean, it's fine. I think I got your question, JT, but yes, if you put question, it highlights it for me. So I see it a little bit easier. And also if you put at Aquarium Adventures, I see that because it highlights it in a different way. I find Tetra's spook discus. Well, I've kept... So at the moment I'm keeping Alestes and Congos. Nothing happens. They're quite happy with them. In the past I've kept cardinals. In the past I've kept smaller cardinals, and the discus were definitely not spooked. They were like, yum yum yum. and ate them all up. I've also kept the Colombian tetras, the red eye ones, and the bleeding heart ones, is it? And Serpe tetras. I've tried them with quite a few. Obviously, the larger the better. So if they're too small, they just get eaten. But I've never found them to be spooked by the tetras. I remember when I first added my cactus pleco. So I've got a cactus pleco that I got, 6 months ago now. When I first added that, you could literally see the discus. I'm anthropomorphizing somewhat here, but you could see them going, what the hell is that? And like all backing away slowly, going, no. Like pushing the smaller ones to the front, going, you go and check it out. I don't know what it is. Look at the weirdo. Go and get it. Snails are my favourite dither fish, says Coro. I've never thought about snails. My platies give the discus a lot of confidence until a few weeks back when the discus have more confidence than the female platy group, who seem mentally scarred from me spooking them. Yeah, I've noticed, so I've got a lot of Sterbai corridoras in that tank as well, and they seem to go through cycles of, and I've never seen this in cories before. When I first put them in, and I got them as fairly large specimens, I got half of them as fairly large specimens and half of them have grown on from very small specimens. But they have always grouped together very well, and they've always been really timid. And then maybe 3 or 4 months ago, they were out. They were everywhere. They were spawning on the glass. They were doing everything. But they were just literally out all the time, buzzing around, doing cory things. And now they've gone back to hiding away all the time again. I don't get it. Water parameters are consistent. It's just a very strange thing that I just happened to have noticed. I have no explanation for why it's happening. I noticed. And JT says, I would really like to get a huge tank one time with like 1,000 rummy nose tetras. Yeah, that definitely a thing. The thing with that is you probably don't need that big a tank for 1,000 rummy nose tetras. 1,000 rummy nose tetras isn't actually that much. I mean, it's probably like a good wholesale order or something like that, but still, it's not like you're going to need a 50-foot tank to accommodate 1,000 rummies. And it does, rummies especially, because they school together so well. They are like the hive mind. They move as one. They're really good. Right, we've got half an hour before the quiz. So again, any more questions that you've got? I've not seen any guesses as to what kind of fish I've bought. I'll give you a clue. It's one I've kept before. My discus are useless predators, but I wouldn't put it past them. That's exactly what I thought about my discus until I put things in that they were happy to predate on. I've seen them chase things. That was the thing. I've never seen my discus chase anything until I put in all them. I don't know. It was obviously my fault because I did that, but I thought I'd seen them with small fish before and they kind of just ignored them. But they were like, oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh God, chat, what's you doing wrong? Right, where did we get to? Sorry about this, everyone. One day I'll do this properly. I'm also thinking any species you might call an indicator species because of how sensitive they are to pollution are also sensitive to predation, so it's a good barometer for danger for other fish. Yeah. I mean, it's true. It's not something... It's not something I really like. Keeping a fish because it's more sensitive than another fish that you want to look after properly. And I guess that's coming from what discus are always seen as very sensitive, which I don't think is necessarily true. And I've heard of people keeping goldfish with them before for that very reason, because they'll be more or less tolerant of, I think it's pH, I can't remember what it is. I don't mind fish that do a job, but I don't really like it having them as sacrificial lambs if I can avoid it, if that makes sense. But yeah, it is a thing. Oh, he's back. I've had a lovely Greek-inspired spicy lamb burger with spicy goat cheese, chilli and stuff, and couldn't not eat it. Well, quite right. I'm happy to play second fiddle to something that good. I missed that. I'll need to ask you about that, as my laptop cameras are so bad and for some reason doesn't have a microphone or won't recognise it. Well, anyone out there interested in making YouTube videos, join the Discord, which isn't up there. Why is it not up there? Join the Discord, which says it's got 0 people online, but I know that's not right. And identify yourself as someone who makes YouTube videos or wants to. You get the YouTuber tag and you'll see the YouTuber section, and we can talk about equipment and all that kind of guff. I do quite like talking about all that kind of stuff, so happy to do so. I think there's a few others who do that, but really looking to get a good one for streaming as I use my phone right now. I mean, your phone is... Phones have great cameras. They literally have great microphones. That is their intended purpose. So you have to go some to... A half-decent phone, you have to go some to beat it with a dedicated camera and setup. It's just awkward because... I found it. It's just awkward because your phone is your phone. So you can't use it for anything else if you're using it to stream from. And then just... It's more difficult, I find. But this can get you started and get you going easily. And the beer looks like cremola foam. I remember that. This doesn't feel like beer. Johnny Carty has a question. How many tanks do you have set up? Good question. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, I think. 27, maybe. I've pared down some. But yeah, too many. That's probably the answer. Cold water's in the house. Hello. Do you still use your IKEA built tank still holding water? Yes, it is. That'll probably be my next video. Will be just a catch up on everything, because I realised I haven't shown a lot of my tanks in a while. So yeah, we'll do a bit of a run through of everything. Question: have you ever been to Maidenhead Aquatics in Taunton? I have not. I have been to Taunton. I used to do some work in Taunton, or for Taunton Council, Taunton and Torridge, which I always used to think were made up places, because why would you have places called Taunton and Torridge? That's just weird. But yeah. But no, I've only ever been to Maidenhead Aquatics in and around Sheffield, and maybe Chesterfield. I've been to a few, but I don't really travel far afield to go and visit fish shops. Maybe that's what my series should be. Graham gets off his butt and goes and visits some places. Stick with the exercises, they will help you for life. But yeah, I'm more than happy to. They seem to be doing the trick. Reactivating muscle groups on your body, turning them back on, if you will. So absolutely you're going to feel better and feel more active. That's why it's beneficial to keep them active. Yeah, so as it was explained to me, your, what did I call it? Whatever joint. So just off your spine, you have a joint. It had trauma of some description. It could be a cough, a sneeze, whatever. The joint had slipped, moved, done whatever it had done, and then all the muscles around it just jump into action, saying, "Oh, you're in the wrong place, get back in," and they kind of overwork themselves trying to make sure it doesn't do any more damage. And then that had trapped some nerves, and then that had caused the muscles to spasm, and that's when it was getting the proper pain. So it's more about getting them exercised, because they're just clamping on for dear life at the moment, saying something's wrong, and it's about getting them to start to slowly release, and then get back to being able to move around. So yes, it's going to be good. Did you not find the Colombians in Serpia a bit nippy? No. Never did. People did warn me. I mean, this was back in my more foolhardy days, where I would buy things and then go and research them. But people did say, "Oh, you're going to have that," and no, they were always great. Howdy, beer man, says Dr. Anthony. Howdy yourself. Hope you're enjoying yourself in your various travels. My discus are wary of my plecos, but the plecos will lunge at them. Yeah, so you do hear these stories about, so proper discus keepers will often say, don't keep pelecos. Don't keep plecos with discus because they'll attack them, they'll eat the slime coat, they'll do all that kind of stuff. And while I have heard anecdotally of people seeing that or having it happening with theirs, that's not what I meant. It was more like they're just wary, like Rebecca's saying, just wary, like, what the hell is that thing over there? Right, lads, back away slowly. I've never seen a pleco or a cistrus or whatever, a sucker fish. I've never seen them actually attack or do any damage, although people have told me that it will happen. Again, maybe I've just been lucky. Touch everything. My discus seem to enjoy the company of my fancy goldfish. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a common thing to keep goldfish with discus for various reasons. And lots of people are quick to jump on the, no, discus are a cold water fish. No, that's not what they say at all. They say goldfish are a cold water fish. Can't keep them with discus. Goldfish are just cold water tolerant. I have seen goldfish that are 20 plus years old that have lived with discus all that time. So it seems to me that it might be okay. Wow, listen to that. Dr. Awesome says, one of our tanks here will be 12,000 neons plus other fish. That's the kind of scale that you like to see. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to Amazon Research Centre for Ornamental Fishes, and hopefully one day we'll see some videos of that. Have you ever kept lemon tetras? I haven't, no. How big do they get? I don't know. Let's all Google that together. Lemon tetra is a species of tropical freshwater fish which originates from South America, belonging to the family, word I can't say. It's a small tetra growing to 5 centimetres in length. So, there you go, 5 centimetres. Now, we should always check our sources, shouldn't we? Let's find a different one. So, Wikipedia says 5 centimetres. Maidenhead Aquatic says 4 centimetres. Fish Keeping World says 2 inches. Tropco says 2 centimetres to 2.5 centimetres. Or maybe that's just the size they're being sold at. Small. I think we can all agree, small. Big face. How are the Exodons doing? Fine. I did have a bit of carnage where I think I did this in a video where I moved them around quite a lot because I couldn't get the tank set up quite right. They kept trying to kill each other. That has stopped. I think I'm left with I want to say 7. But yeah, they've stopped killing each other and stopped. They seem to be happy with that number. It's a lower number than I wanted. I wanted to keep it up around the. Again, I wanted to get like 20 of them, put them in a 4-foot tank and keep it like that, but no. But they seem happy enough. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Oh, God. Right, we're miles behind. I'm going to try and race through. Question, is it Congo Tetra? Is what Congo Tetra? I have Congo Tetras. Right, chat. You're all very chatty tonight, which is great. The problem is phones get very hot very quickly. Yeah, I suppose that can be a thing. I never noticed it when I was using my phone, I must admit. But I know that more modern phones, if you're trying to run them in 4K for an hour, yes, that might be an issue. It says the link isn't valid for the Discord. Let's fix that, shall we? Well, someone will put... there you go, look at that. Very next comment. I'll get rid of this then if that's nonsense. Now remember, call to action. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm not making a video for the best part of the month. My subscriber count has gone down. Well, it hasn't. The growth of my fewer people are subscribing. So if you aren't, please consider clicking that subscription button down below. There's also a join button. If you've got too much money and want to join as a member to help me, you can do that as well. You also get some stuff for yourself. You get 10% off anything at aquariumadventures.co.uk. Food, merch, whatever it might be, and you get the warm, happy, fuzzy feeling of knowing you're helping me, support me, and you also get some fancy emojis and stuff like that. Or just watch a video, like a video. That's all you really need to do. See, someone's done it. Stingray 73 Vet has just subscribed. Is that Fish Vet's second channel? Tabarak Aquatics. What's up, bruh? This is Raz from Tabarak Aquatics, and I'm a fellow YouTuber. Nice to meet you. Well, as I said, if you jump on Discord, identify yourself as a YouTuber, see if we can do collaborations and talk about equipment and strategies and all that kind of stuff. Hans says, is the new fish another tilapia? It is not. But you know what my evil family did for Father's Day? So this fish was a Father's Day present, but I was ill on Father's Day, so I couldn't go and get it. But as a Father's Day present, they bought me a tilapia. They said, we've got you a new fish, we've got you a tilapia because I know you liked it. And I was like, oh, but yeah, I've not really got a tank that I can hold that fish in. Oh, you don't need to for this one. They bought me a tilapia from a fishmonger. Like rubbing my face in it. Evil gets. So, no, first guess, it's not a tilapia. A video on how IKEA cabinets hold. I do want to put my 60 litre on an IKEA desk. Well, these are IKEA cabinets and have been holding tanks for years. Right, I'm going to try and catch up a wee bit. Sorry if I'm missing anything. Sort the volume leveling out. I just deafened everyone with that whoosh. Oh, I do apologise. Is my is it that bad? Wait a minute. I think we can do this on the fly. This is where I kill the stream now. No, I have to go into studio mode. Look at transitions. No, I don't know how to do that. Is it this? I'm going to try that again just to watch your ears, everyone. No, I need to go back to the studio mode. I almost pressed stop screaming. Is that still deafening? If it is, I'll have to look into that later because I don't know why it's doing that. Stinger, properties. Use that. Yeah, no, sorry. It is what it is. I'll try that another day. Oh, it's the like, subscribe one. Right, okay. Oh, and I do know what that is. I can fix that. So, Stream Deck owners, there was a recent update which just banjacks the whole thing. So I had to reset everything. So that should have... is this what everyone wants to see? Graham dicks around with things, trying to fix them. Okay, I'll just not press that again until I figure that one out. That's how we do it. Can we run a test on the quiz music? How's that? We are about 10 minutes away from doing the quiz. Let me know if that's too loud, not loud enough, etc. So the quiz, just for those of you who are new here, it's a fishy quiz in that there are some fishy questions. There's also some unfishy questions. And I guarantee there's at least one question about Jean-Claude Van Damme every week. No one can remember why, but there always is. The quiz is made by me, so it's not necessarily the right answer, it's what I think the right answer is. So it's whatever website I looked at to get the information to make the question for the quiz. That's what the right answer is. And there will be there will be lots of moaning. The amount of moaning will make no difference to the outcome of the quiz. But we will give away a prize. It'll be some kind of discount voucher, or if you're in the States, you can nominate someone over here, or you can get an Aquarium Co-op voucher or an Amazon voucher or whatever it might be. I think who won it? Oh, it was Nobokov won last week, didn't you? Who got a $10 Amazon gift card. What did you spend it on? Have you spent it yet? Who knows? So we've got that coming up in about 10 minutes, so you can get your quizzing fingers ready. Cooper Cichlids, hello there, how are you? Nice to see you. I just saw that one. Bucky will cure any pain, trust the monks. I saw a video recently of like a proper wine connoisseur who reviews wines for some fancy restaurant chain, and someone had sent him a bottle of Buckfast, and he did it in like deadpan serious mode of looking at the bottle, doing a bit of research about the Benedictine monks that create Buckfast, and swirling it around. Oh, the nose is this, and then he tasted it and he was like, Jesus. It was very funny. JT fish keeping is off. Got to go to bed. Not a problem. New fish. Is it an arowana fish? It is not. I got aquarium salt. Very happy for the assistance. Nice. If I submit all the questions, can I enter? Of course you can. That'll give you a bit of help. I think at least one of the questions is submitted by you tonight, so hopefully you get that one right. Greetings from Philadelphia. Hello. Is this the same? I'm going to have to... It's a channel called... I think it's called Cooper Cichlids. Get out of the way. Alright, sorry, I'm going to have to press 100 or something. I can't make it go away. Move. Are you Chef Coop? that I've been watching for years, who has a fish room in a basement with lots of cichlids. Go to channel, that's the word, that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, I think you are. So everyone go and have a look at that channel. I don't know why, I just really like watching his videos. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Right, let me get the quiz set up. Christine is the new Fisher Puffer. It is. I need a fish room so bad. Just think of all the time you've spent waiting for it. I hope you're using it well and planning it. When you finally get there, how satisfying will it be? Where's my quiz gone? Hold on, everyone, while I panic. Oh, no, we're okay. Multiplayer. I want to host. So, if you are interested in playing the quiz, that is the link. So, the link, triviacreator.com/join/bunch of numbers. Click that. You'll get all the questions and everything. I don't want you to answer the questions in chat. You can complain about the questions in chat, but you answer the questions on the Trivia Creator website. It's fastest finger first, so you need to be right to get points, but the faster you get the right answer, the more points you get. There are 20 questions, you get 30 seconds per question, and whoever's got the most points at the end of the thing, what do the points make? Prizes! How is the BioRock performing? Fine. I must admit, I've done a bit of a lame test. I've got it in this tank here, which just has a bunch of shrimp, bunch of snails, very low bioroad. Very low bioroad. So that was a bit racist. Very low bio load. But the parameters fine. So very low bio load, quite a few plants. No filter, just air stone in the middle of the BioRock, drawing water through and around the BioRock. It's keeping everything fine. We've got 8 players in so far. So yes, I might set up. I've still got more BioRock down. I don't know if you can see it there. So I might do another tank with it and see if I can. I was thinking like my betta tank. Get another tank that size, put the better fish in it, and use the same principle, using that for filtration. See if it maintains the same way. So, as Christine was saying, is it a puffer? It was my puffer videos that got me here. It is another puffer. I have bought the world's smallest Fahaka puffer. That was my children's present to me for Father's Day. So, in a general move away from lots of tanks, I mentioned earlier I was trying to scale back a bit. I think 2023 and 2024's fish room evolution will be fewer smaller tanks being replaced by larger tanks. I'm just finding myself as much as I enjoy my guppies and smaller fish and that kind of thing, the bigger fish with the bigger personalities, I'm enjoying them also. And now that I have the space to keep the bigger fish with the bigger personalities, and yeah, I'm thinking that's the direction we might go. So I might dedicate one wall to smaller tanks, and then and when I say bigger fish and bigger tanks, not like lots of mega tanks. They might be like 4-foot tanks, 5-foot tanks, that kind of thing. growing out inhabitants for Megatank maybe, or doing breeding projects still. I want to do that. Just playing with a different direction to see how we get on. The first answer is fish. It might be, you never know. We have 18 players so far. JC Van Dan McGrew. I like it. Graham's going American, bigger tanks. We'll see him in a Texas hack. Not quite. Right, we've got 2 minutes to go, so time to crack a beer. I think I'll go for the next non-beer of the evening, the Tiny Rebel Lemon Cloudy IPA. Hopefully it'll at least be beer flavoured, rather than weak. Okay, it's a better colour. I got some Biorock also. It's been around the 3 month long. It's been about 3 months. Long fin bristle nose don't seem to be hurt by the sharpness, which was a concern. Yeah, I mean, it is sharp. There's no getting away from it. So anything that was fast or big, I'd be a bit worried about scrapes and things like that. But the shrimp, it's brilliant because they love getting into all the little grooves and stuff. Here we go. Before we start the quiz, I'll do a bit of a beer description. That's nice looking. I can't see through it. Pass test number 1. Doesn't smell minging. Pass test number 2. Doesn't smell lemony. Maybe. Hints of citrus now that I think about it. Oh, that's interesting. I've just had an internal monologue there of that's either delicious or horrible. And I can't tell which. Very citrusy. Get that orange ready. That's not bad. I would not go lemonade. I would go a very citrusy, but not lemonade. But not bad. Right, are we ready for the quiz, people? Some of the Fahaka puffers in stores are smaller than a little nail. This one is very small, yes. I'm a bit worried about getting it eating because it's very small. Let's put it that way. Are we ready? Are we ready for the quiz? We have 20 players. I always say 200 points is a good tally. 300 points, you're a chance of winning it. Let's go on to Littleface. And we'll start the music. Welcome everyone to the Aquarium Adventures Weekly Quiz, where points mean prizes. We're going to start in a second. Remember, fastest finger first. I'm going to turn that down a bit because it's a little bit loud. Fastest fingers first, but be correct. Don't listen for me to read the question. Read the question yourself and see if you can gain an advantage. And more than anything else, just have fun. Are we ready? Let's begin. What fish is this? Let me get rid of Rebecca's comment. What fish is this? Is it a Parichirodon enesi? Is it a Symphosorgidon aquifatiatus? These are hard enough to say anyway. Is it a Pterophilium scalari or is it a Beta splendens? Hopefully a nice easy one to start. Remember, some questions are fishy, some are not. So even if you don't know, have a guess. It was, of course, a Beta splendens. Comparative to body size, which fish has the largest teeth? The Goliath tigerfish, the Picasso triggerfish, the Bueller's angelfish, or Sloane's viperfish? Am I being chastised for not capitalising something? Come on. It takes long enough as it is. Which has the biggest teeth? It's the Sloane's viper fish. Wimbledon employs a hawk to keep the tennis courts clear of birds, but what is the hawk's name? Is it Scary McBirdface? Is it Tim? Is it Rufus? Or is it Sue Barker? What is the hawk called that scares away all the birds from the Wimbledon Tennis Championship? Scary McBirdface, Tim, Rufus, or Sue Barker? It's Rufus. The Cornish jackfish is native to which continent? And there is a picture of said Cornish jackfish. Is it Europe, Africa, Asia, or North America? Please be Sue. Sorry, it wasn't Sue. Sue Barker is a tennis. She's always at Wimbledon. I think she retired last year. I've decided it's delicious, by the way. It's Africa. Salmon find their precise spawning grounds using which sense? Sight, smell, sound, or irony? Now, a lot of you will be going, but salmon use the magnetic field on the earth to navigate. They do to the mouth of the river that contains their spawning ground. But to find the precise location within that river of their spawning ground, they use another sense. Which is it? Sight, smell, sound, or irony? It is, of course, smell. Of course. What number is opposite 20 on a dartboard? Is it 1, 3, 5, or 19? I've been playing a lot of darts recently. It also helps with my rehabilitation. That movement. Because it's on this side. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Darts question, I got nothing. It's 3. Remember, even if you've got nothing, just have a guess. Wolfia arhiza is more commonly known as water lettuce, water hyacinth, duckweed, or frogbit. This is the first of 2 questions about Wolfia arhiza, because I found it fascinating researching this. Okay, fascinating might be a bit much, but both these facts I went, oh. It's duckweed. It's one of the 5 types of duckweed native to the UK. And here's the second question. Wolfia arhiza holds what honour? Is it the world's hardiest plant, the world's smallest, that should say, flowering plant, the world's most toxic plant, or the world's most common plant? So we now know it's duckweed. Holds what honour? Hardiest, smallest, most toxic, most common. It's the world's smallest flowering plant. Who knew? Which French national holiday is celebrated today? Is it Eiffel Day, Bastille Day, Surrender Day, or Brie Day? All potential French things. The French surrender monkeys. Nearing the halfway point, we've got Nabokov on 200 points already before we even get to halfway. Laura Carday on 152, that must be Rebecca. Juggler on 148. Nabokov running away with it. It's Bastille Day, of course. Question number 10. Stonefish venom is what colour? White, black, blue, red. What colour is stonefish venom? Yeah, Brie Day, where they throw cheese at each other. I'm assuming that's a thing. French are weird. Stonefish venom is blue. The final Ford Fiesta rolled off the production line this week. Approximately how many have been produced? They've been around for 50 years. Is it 8 million, 22 million, 40 million, or 2 million? There's a lot of them. How many Ford Fiestas have there been built in the last 50 years? Nabokov thinks it's 22 or 40. They are certainly two of the options. But are they right? It was B, 22 million. Oh, how do lobsters communicate with each other? They pee on each other, they dance for each other, they draw in the sand, or Morse code. Nabokov's still on 200 points. Everyone else is now quickly catching up. iRobot on 190, Rebecca 176, Juggler 173, Brian 155, I Know Nothing 154, Jack Tank 152. These are all good scores. Anyone can win this. They pee on each other out of their eyes. Did you know that? What country is this? Is it the United States of America? Is it Canada? Is it China? Or is it Greenland? USA, Canada, China, or Greenland? Nabokov's got some more points. Got two people over 200 so far. Still a long way to go. It's anyone's game. The timer seems to be stuck. Nothing is happening. Is it starting again? It's going backwards. Right, we're going to need to find a new quizzing medium. Click, 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 click. Keep clicking till you win. Is it Canada? Is it China? Is it... who knows? We may never know at this rate. That's a pain. Right, everyone's is frozen. We can just talk. Oh, it went down. 24, 25, 24, 25. Is it a click off? What's happening? 23. Oh. 22. Oh. Right, if everyone just stop touching it. We'll have to turn it off and back on again. It's just your own time you're wasting, not mine. Is that what they used to say at school? I've got a beer. So Nabokov says the site, if you tie with your click, the site adds 2 seconds and then tries to get the click back. It's a click off. I think it might be a click off. Nothing's happening though. It's times like this that I regret spending 2 hours of my day making this quiz only for it to screw up. Oh, something's just changed. There we go. We're back. We're back. Maybe. Weather outside. What's it like, eh? Anybody seen any good TV shows recently? So anyway, what country is it? You all got enough time to figure out. It was China. Question 14. Mating has what side effect for male octopus? Octopuses? Octopi. Tentacle loss, hearing loss, taste loss, or memory loss? Octopuses getting jiggy with it means what for the male? Life loss, says Rebecca. It could be. It's memory loss. They get dementia. A blue whale tongue is heavier than an elephant. True or false? We now have 4 people over 200 with 5 questions to go. I'd say anyone in the top 5 could probably still win this. In fact, anyone in the top 10 if you get really quick with your answers. A blue whale tongue is heavier than an elephant. True. On this day, in which year was Billy the Kid shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett? 1881, 1781, 1901, or 1818? Billy the Kid was shot and killed today, in which year? So this day in history type of question. It depends on the elephant. Apparently not. As long as you stipulate healthy and adult, it works. It was 1881. The clown loachfish belongs to which order? Is it Osmeriformes? Is it catfish? Is it Perciformes? Or is it Cypriniformes? I might have mispronounced all of them. The clown loach belongs to which order? Don't fight me on this answer. It'd be funny if this wasn't real. It was D. Jean-Claude Van Damme studied what for 5 years before becoming an actor? Was it carpentry, sculpture, ballet, or astrophysics? Jean-Claude Van Damme studied what for 5 years before becoming an actor? Very graceful as old JVCD, JVD even. It was ballet. Question 19, penultimate question. What is generally not a feature of a Dutch-style aquascaping? Contrasting coloured plants, dense planting, hardscape, or multiple plant types? What is generally not a feature of a Dutch-style aquascape? We've now got 2 people over 300. Nabokov might be on for a win streak, 2 in a row. It's hardscape. Last question, name the band and album. Pardon me. Oasis, definitely maybe. Blur, Part Life, Oasis, The Master Plan, or Blur, The Great Escape. So, using the powers of deduction, it's either Oasis or Blur. Never heard a song from those bands, no clue. Some people. It's obviously Oasis, definitely maybe. And there we go, we've finished. Mild applause. That's obviously the wrong applause button. That's what we want, more of that. Well done everyone. Kneading Coffee Nabokov in gold position with 352. That's quite the prize. Rebecca 317 in silver. I know nothing 300. 4 people over 300 points. Who is I know nothing? Reveal yourself. Good scores. Like I say, anything over 200 has got a chance. We've got at least the top 10, if not more, down in 200. And only 3 people it didn't work for properly. Congratulations, everybody. Nabokov, well done. You can either repeat what we did last week, or you can nominate your prize to go to someone else in the UK. If they want an Aquarium Adventures voucher, just let me know. But well done, everybody. Now we have my favourite part of the night, where we get to go through everybody's questions and answers and look at the insights. So, the better fish. Everybody got that right, with Namnol being the fastest finger. Well done, everybody. Comparative to body size, which fish has the largest teeth? Only Namnol, Rebecca, I Know Nothing, and Mickey got that one right. I don't know who Oasis are other than the name, or the other one. I'm not that old. Surely everybody alive today knows who Oasis and Blur are, in the UK at least. I will forgive some Americans, I don't think either of them really broke America. But that was meant to be the little helping hand to the UK audience to get a point in there. So comparative to body size, it was the Sloane's fish, and all the other answers in there were references to Ferris Bueller, because Sloane was in Ferris Bueller. I thought it was funny. Wimbledon employs a hawk. He was called Rufus. You either knew that or you didn't. The Cornish jackfish is native to which continent? I thought the name of that might throw you off, so I quite like that question. So only 4 of you got that one right. Salmon find their precise spawning grounds using which sense? It was smell. Lots of people got that one right. What number's opposite 20 on a dartboard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half of you got that one right. Well done, everybody. Wolfia arhiza is more commonly known as duckweed. 1, 2, 3, 4 of you got that one right. And it holds what honour? Being the smallest flower. Yep, did well there. Which French national holiday is it? Bastille Day. Only 2 of you didn't get that one right. Stonefish venom was what colour? Yeah, blue. I saw somebody milking a stonefish today. That's why I used that. I don't know why they were milking it. It was on mute because I was on a conference call at work. Ford Fiesta, 22 million. How do lobsters communicate? Oh, only one person got that one right. Yeah, they pee out of their eyes. Their urinary glands are under their eyes, and they can chemically alter the makeup of their urine to convey messages, said the website I was on, to their other lobsters. Amazing. What country is it? It was China. Yeah, about 50-50 with that one. Mating has what side effect on male octopus? Yeah, it gives them dementia. They can no longer function. So I guess death was correct because they can no longer function. They can't remember how to find food. They can't remember what's dangerous or not. God, yeah, it's fascinating. A blue whale tongue is heavier than an elephant. If both are adults, then yes. Billy the Kid, yeah, I knew that. You didn't? Well, I don't think anybody knew it. It was just a guess, wasn't it? Clownfish belongs to what order? Needing Nabokov and Rebecca were both very clear that they knew the answer to that one, so glad we got that one. JCVD studied what? It was ballet, of course. The quote was, if you have trained in ballet, training for any other sport or activity pales into insignificance. He said it was the hardest thing he's ever had to do. Generally not a feature of Dutch aquascaping is the hardscape. Name the band. Oh, you got it right though, Rebecca, even claiming not to know it. Not many people did though. I do like to throw in the odd obscure one, but everyone, congratulations, well played. It was touch and go there as to whether we'd actually get it finished, but you did well. I'm going to have to change this applause for something better. Big face. Right. Let me just get rid of that. Thank you all for playing. So, Nabokov, get in touch. Let me know what you want to do or what you want. I see Tommy is now singing in chat. I said maybe. Oh, she's that. If I still had the guitar up here, we could have a wee sing-song to round out the evening. Blur, aren't they like 70s? No, 90s. No. You've upset me there. Dangerous Dance is not my best performance. I think you were alright there. You got the wrong Oasis, says Brian. It's easily done. Cooper Cichlids likes the game, thank you very much. This is going to be a lecture on our music tastes. I mean, no, you don't have to like Oasis or Blur, but for a good decade, if not more, they were the biggest thing going in terms of music. They were literally on the news for the whole Britpop movement was started by the rivalry between those two, and which of them was going to get to number one was literally on like the 10 o'clock news for weeks about. I can't believe you just don't know who they are. I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm not saying they're even. I was more of an Oasis fan, but I think technically Blur are probably the better musicians as such, but it just baffles me that you can't be aware. I mean, they're still played on the radio all the time. There's films made about them recently. They still play it. Oasis don't, obviously, because they've broken up, but they're all still making music in various places. See, Scott knows. We're now just inserting random lyrics to random songs. I get up when I want, except on Wednesdays when I get rudely awakened by the dustman. Yeah, this is like, as Tommy says, I grew up with both of them. Yeah. Generationally defining. Oasis definitely better than Blur. At the time, I was definitely more on the Oasis side. As I grew up, I got to like Blur more. Oasis toured America. They did, but they didn't really do very well. I don't think they ever properly broke America. The Cornish Jack, that was Rebecca's question, so I'm glad you got that one right. If you want to, you can submit questions either by reaching out to me, email, on Discord, on Facebook, on whatever. If you've got any ideas for questions, more than happy to receive them, because it's getting insanely difficult for me to even loosely tie any of the questions towards being in any way fishy. So any help you want to give, I'm more than happy. We have got one quiz in the bank, which might say for next week, because next week it's my birthday. So I'm 50-50 as to whether we're doing a stream next week, but we might do it. But it's my birthday next Friday, so if I get any better offers, you lot are screwed. I'm off. No, not at all. So I might have a week off and let someone else do the quiz next week. And we'll make it my birthday quiz and see if I can win my own quiz for once. But yes, the Cornish Jack, insanely smart. Not just are they electric, but smart. They identify fishermen knowing they will drop food. Yeah, I did read a few, because I thought Cornish Jack, well, it's obviously going to be from Cornwall, or that's where it gets caught, or something like that. So I read a little bit about them. They're very good. As a dart player, I'd have kicked myself if I got that one wrong. Yes, we mentioned last week I've got my dartboard up there. Started getting back into it. I've just bought myself a new board. I've got the Windmill Blade 6 triple core. But if you play darts, you'll know that's probably the best board you can get at the moment. Because I was convinced that's what was stopping me getting more 180s. But I got another one today. So you'll see me on telly soon playing darts. Question, how did you see a fish getting milked? More details, please. It was on the news. It was somebody talking about... Well, I don't know what they were talking about because it was on mute, because I was working at the time and I was on a call and it was on in the background and it was on the news, and they basically they had a wetsuit on a stonefish and they were pressing the wetsuit onto the stonefish, I guess to simulate what happens when you stand on one. But basically their spines, they're covered in their skin or scales or whatever it is, and then it goes through the wetsuit, and the skin and stuff gets pushed back, and it's just the white spines, and then the blue venom comes out of them. It's very good. Do we get extra points for death? Sure, why not? Bali is tough though. Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme is tough. Brian thinks he's got most of the JCVD questions right. I'm running out of things about Jean-Claude Van Damme as well. I mean, I need to pick a new person to pick on. And Dennis needs to speed up his answer. That's the thing. You can know all the answers, but if you're not quick enough, somebody's going to beat you. More lyrics. I'm going to refrain from singing because, I'll just get myself copyright striked, and that helps no one. Oh, no. No. Dyslexics takes my brain a while. See, now that's a bit of an unfair advantage, isn't it? Listening to some Richard Marx yesterday. I don't get the connection. Did I start singing some Richard Marx stuff? The piano? Alright, okay. My era is Busted and McFly. Okay. Without Oasis, there would be no Busted or McFly. Didn't Blur morph into that cartoon band? No. Gorillaz, you mean? So Damon Albarn left Blur and joined Gorillaz. The bassist left Blur and became a farmer. The guitarist left Blur, and I think he did work on some of the Gorillaz stuff as well, but I'm not sure what he ended up doing. We need birthday questions. Oh yeah, well, we might have to do that. I'll be questions about 1977. That was our generation's version of Blur and Oasis. Yeah, well, nothing again, Busted or McFly. And I guess they are a little bit. I don't mind them. I've just seen the next comment. I don't listen to them. I like S Club 7 if I'm driving. Well, there ain't no party like an S Club party. Oasis sold 6 million albums in America. I did not know that. Jackie Chan. Now there's a good one. I do like a Jackie Chan. A good nomination for someone to take over the mantle for JCVD questions. I like it. It's my partner's birthday next week, so I may not be here either. Some people. That's quite alright. I'm amazed so many people turn up for this nonsense as it is. So, like I say, it is my actual, literal birthday on Friday next week. I'll be 29 years old. For the 17th time. So yes, before we had the quiz, I was talking about what fish I had managed to buy. So I went to Maidenhead Aquatics, and took my kids, and they decided. Well, they actually had 2 adult fahakas, which reminded me of my old fag puffer. And I thought, oh yeah, they're lovely, but they wanted something ridiculous for them, and I wasn't paying that for that. I thought I'll get a small one and we'll grow it out. You can end up in one of the tanks I'm talking about. So when I get my 4 foot, 5 foot tanks, that can be a fish that I put into one of them. And I do enjoy a puffer, so I thought I'll go with that. And then my daughter got some new fish because sadly, Snowflake, the betta fish, died just after his 2-year anniversary of getting him, I think it was. So we got some new fish for her tank, and they've already started having babies. We've got some fancy guppies, basically. I can't remember the precise strains, but they're very nice. Red and white and red, and they've already started spitting out babies, so they are doing what I wanted them to do, because I think that's cool, and she obviously thinks that's cool too, because she's been going on about it all week, going, it's amazing, there's loads of babies, it's great, wow, brilliant. So that's the new fish that we've got. I also got a few more shrimp for this, but that's all. I managed to restrain myself and not buy anything. I really want to get some more silver dollars. I'm quite upset with myself that those silver dollars didn't immediately do well in Mega Tank. I think they will do well, and they do well, but I need a larger number of them to give that little bit more movement. Basically, I'm using silver dollars as a dither fish, and I think it's amazing, but yeah. Mickey, surprise, surprise, is going on holiday next week. Do you ever not go on holiday? Where are you going this time? Anywhere nice? Better to buy a juvenile for adaptability. An MA local to my parents has a Maboo the size of a nail at £160. Wow. Yeah. Maboo, which is a lovely word to say, they are quite expensive generally. And people keep telling me not to buy a Maboo puffer because there are so many needing rescued. I've never seen one come up for a rescue. I think it's a little bit to do with the rescue scene seems to be a bit judgy sometimes. Whereas if you've got a big fish and you want to rehome it because you can't look after it, it's just full of people telling you, you should have thought about that when you bought it. And obviously that's true, but who does that help saying that at the point where they've said that they want to rehome it? There's a little bit of mental gymnastics that goes on, that people say you should rehome fish if you can't look after them properly. And then as soon as people do try and rehome fish because they realise they can't look after them properly, people jump on their backs and give them crap about it, which makes no sense to me. So I don't know if all the Maboo puffers out there are just being kept in crappy conditions because people don't want to put them up for adoption. Not that I'm looking for one, but I have joined lots of the rehoming forums and things like that over the last year since I got Mega Tank up and running. But I've never seen any Maboo. It's hard to say, but I love that word, Maboo puffer. But it is something I have noticed about the rehoming forums, that they're a little bit judgy and a little bit preachy. They'd love to have an opportunity to tell you what you've done wrong. It's just the wrong way to do it. Again, I always think, I'm going to start my own rehoming forum and not be judgy. But I've barely got the time to do anything I want to do at the moment. But fundamentally, if you're looking to rehome fish, and your first experience of trying to rehome fish is somebody jumping down your throat, you're not going to rehome any more fish, are you? Which you might say the long game of that is quite good, because then you're not buying more fish that you can't look after. But at the very least, if someone's willing to swallow the pill and say, I think I should rehome this, I think they should be treated with a little bit of, it's not even leniency, a little bit of, I don't know what word to use, but they should be applauded for the good decision they're making now rather than the bad decision they made before. And I see that on lots of pet things, whether it's reptiles rehoming, whether it's all these other things. often people wait too late because they try their hardest to keep things as long as possible. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't sometimes. I just don't get what people want out of this. Why are we talking about this? How did we get onto this thread? Who knows? I apologise. I don't know what I'm talking about now. But, oh yes, better to buy a juvenile for adaptability. Yeah, I don't know about that. My last Fahaka puffer that I had from very small, very similar size, and it grew up, and I had it with other fish, and it was something that people told, oh, don't have a Fahaka with other fish, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. But I tried it, and it was fine for a long time until it wasn't, like with many things. And I thought it was because I'd kept it with other fish from being very small that I just didn't see them as a threat or as food until it did. So I don't know. Just a wee trip to Spain for Mickey. Very good. Alice has a rescue one, but I think both don't make it. Yeah, I'm not looking for one. I don't think a boot would be. I've got the tank for it, but I don't think it would be compatible with the other inhabitants of said tank. Entirely true for rescues with incorrect recommendations. Yeah, it's just some of them are just a bit holier than thou. A lot of animals aren't obvious at the end till it is the end. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw you commented in one of the posts that made me think of this, where Macaulay was talking about people trying or holding on too long before they look into adoption or rescue. The damage has been done, and the rescue's it's too hard to do anything. But and that's why it upsets me to see people when they genuinely are trying to rescue. All right, they made a bad mistake and they can't. They're now at least trying to get out of it rather than just saying, "Well, I'm just going to keep this until it dies." Then, which is a bit annoying. Right, I think we'll try Jiddler's Tipple as the final beer for the evening. The Quencher Cold IPA, while it is still cold. Wow. So yes, I think if you're going to run a rescue, you kind of have to bite your lip a little bit to say you're concentrating on the rescue and not why it needs to be rescued. And congratulate the people for at least wanting to rescue. That looks like a lager. That doesn't look like an IPA or anything. It's very fizzy. Very inoffensive. Generic beer. I think if someone had suggested this to me about a year ago, when I first started doing the weird beers, that had gone down quite well. Oh, we've got a question. I'm cleaning up after the pups, but I'm here. Oh, it's gone away. Question though, if Graham was a shark, what shark would he be? I don't know if I'm the most qualified to answer that. Obviously, I want to say I'd be a great white or something like that, but I think I'd probably be a nurse shark, just lie on the bottom. Quite happy with myself. That's how I feel mostly these days. Just lie around, feeling happy with myself. So Clark's Mini Fish Room says, I think these days fish shops are a bit more upfront to customers about fish as well. I remember in the 2000s everyone was buying common plecos No idea they grew huge. Now you hardly ever see them. That is very true. It's been a long time since I've seen a common pleco of any description in a fish shop. And I think we're finally catching up. This whole the internet generation, we're now getting to the point where fairly old people have grown up. Fairly old people have grown up with information at their fingertips. The internet has been front and foremost for most of their lives. Information availability has been more available than it's ever been. So with many jobs where knowledge is important, so I'm thinking outside of the skill-based jobs. So if you want to be a carpenter, you can't really learn that off the internet by watching YouTube videos. Of course you can, but you know what I mean. But if you work in a fish shop, you can, with very little effort, find out about the fish that you're trying to sell in your fish shop. So where there used to be, your fish shop would have the people who worked in the fish shop, and if it was a good one, they would know their stuff because they would be in the hobby. They'd be deep in the hobby. They'd be talking with other fish geeks, conversing at that level, doing research on their own, reading other people's research, all that kind of stuff, which takes a lot of effort to find out about it. The bad shops would just be churning through fish and selling it and giving bad advice and all that kind of stuff. Your big box stores, so over here, the Pets at Home, the whatever they're called, Pets World or whatever it is over in the US or whatever, it was your Saturday boy, your Saturday girls that just wanted a job. They had no interest in the fish, and they were put in the fish department and told to follow whatever guidelines that company put down. Now, with 10 minutes worth of free time, you can learn loads of information about that subject. So when it's that easily available, it's hard to find and hard to learn, and now it's easy to find and easy to learn, and it's just now merging into one big thing. I think the information is just there. That's why you don't see common plecos in shops these days. That's why you don't have quite so many blatantly bad advice given out, because most people, even if you're not relying on the people who work in a shop to research anything, most people who are going out to buy things have that information at their fingertips, so they're not even looking for the stupid decisions that they want to make. It's just a lot more readily available, so it's getting better just by osmosis almost, that the information's there, you don't need to look hard to find it, so you make better choices and you get better advice, and it's going to keep getting better and better, as long as the good information is available on the internet. So as long as everyone's not watching Aquarium Adventures videos, then it should get better and better. Leopard shark then, yeah, they're lazy. Yeah, I could go with that. Yes, so that's the comment I was kind of trying to make. The information is available, and we're finally at the point where people can use new methods without the back in my day comments. I think there's still a few father fish diehards that still want to use the back in my day. But it's easier to get information for both the retailers and the customers. Even in my era, aquarium stores, I do argue there's a large number of those without the passion to absorb information. I mean, the big box stores is where it's more prevalent, because you've got a chance that, and I see it in my Pets at Home. I use Pets at Home quite a lot. I buy crickets and things like that for my lizards and stuff. I buy consumables like straw or whatever. I have to use them every now and again, and I always go and have a look at the fish when I'm in there, even though I have no intention of buying usually. The nature of that beast is that's a shop with, I don't know, 15 employees, and the fish section is just one section. So they have people on there who, you want to buy a fish, right? How many days have you had your tank running? 77. Tick. How many temperatures do you have in that tank? 8. Tick. You can just talk them through whatever. They have no interest in fish. They have just been put on that section to cover someone else for lunch. That's generally what happens. A specialist fish shop generally has people that have a little bit of, even if not knowledge, interest, and the interest then gains the knowledge. So your Maidenhead Aquatics is generally going to have someone that knows a little bit more, or is at least interested, than your Pets at Home. Your Pets at Home might be somebody that's really into rabbits. That's why they got a job at Pets at Home and they get stuck on the fish section. That just doesn't happen in Maidenhead Aquatics. You get somebody that's really into koi and they get stuck on the saltwater section. That might be a thing, but fewer and smaller misses. I've seen without the passion. Oh yeah, there are bad fish shops, and there will always be bad fish shops where they just don't care. I don't think that's ever going to get. There's places that are run with passions as passion projects, and there are places that are run with business. And the best ones are where you fit somewhere right in the middle of that. It's always going to be a bit like that, I think. I've just ordered a new corner tank for my fish. It'll be the 4th tank in my room. You're well on your way then. There's a problem with the internet or social media. Terrible advice dished out by novices. It can be hard sorting the wheat from the chaff, definitely. I guess that's the problem. The flip side of the information age is all the information being available is to knowing how to differentiate between good and bad advice. Because see anything about the internet, it's full of people who want to tell you stuff. And very few of them want to start telling you stuff by saying, I don't really know, or I haven't researched this properly, or it's all about, I've been doing it like this forever. They don't tell you, and I only lose 70% of my fish. Yeah. Right, we're getting into the last few minutes. And I feel that I'm about to start moaning more than usual, which I guess is a good sign. Somebody in work today said, you must be feeling better, Graham. I said, why is that? He said, you've done nothing but moan for the last hour and shout at people. So maybe that's it. So with that, next Friday, it's my birthday. Bring your party hats. If you want to give me a birthday present, go and watch one of my videos. That's all you need to do. Leave me a comment. Let me know you're thinking about me. But for now, I'm going to bid you all adieu. I'm going to take a little comfort break of my own. And maybe a painkiller. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if I don't see you before, I'll see you next week. Cheery bye!